Hello and welcome to Out of Your League, your one-stop source for everything Draft League. I'm joined tonight by Dominic Gray.
Hi.
And, for the first time in a long time, Samson Giel.
Hello.
Sam,
friend.
what have you been up to since your dramatic exit?
All sorts, really. Been moving house, as you can see, in this humble abode. That's about it, really. Been doing some job stuff,
So,
that's good too.
living life.
Yeah.
The life
Sorry,
of
I wasn't expecting the question.
No, sorry.
What I've been doing. I could go on, but I don't want to.
Well, then do.
I shan't. I bought a new Hoover. That's probably my most exciting.
Whoa, you aren't living the high life.
It was a big source of contention actually, because I tried to ask the Fast Bros group chat for some advice on it, and they just slated me being like, "Buy a Henry, stop being such a prick, stop worrying about it. It doesn't take 2 weeks to decide on what Hoover you want to buy. Just buy it. Stop worrying. Stop asking us." It was a long time.
Did you get a Henry?
No, I bought a Dyson.
Oh,
It's hung up on the wall behind us.
All we can do
Can't
now
really
is
see it now,
continue
but-
that ribbing and say, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah,
Might
what a
name my
prick.
next Pokemon Henry. Is there a vacuum Pokemon?
Probably will be.
Rotom suck.
Rotom. Yeah, we're gonna do hot
Thank you.
takes, Ray, on the what the fuck's it called? The Galar
Galar region, yeah.
Galar region Dex bollocks.
About the not being able to bring every Pokemon across.
Yeah,
Oh, we had a massive debate on this actually.
the
PK
memes
said,
that have come out have been brilliant.
Yeah, well, do you want to hear my hot take, or do you want to just
We
talk
do.
about memes?
Oh, I do.
It's the first time I ever said that. Yeah, so PK was saying that, no, Rob was saying he wasn't very hyped for it. He was saying, look, I want all my Pokemon.
I share that
Not really very
sentiment.
bothered about this. And then PK was like, well, they don't need to put everyone in. You're not entitled to them. And Rob said, well, it means I don't want to buy it. And PK was like, well, they want to try some more stuff. There's too many Pokemon, blah, blah. And it devolved into this kind of huge debate, which I'm sure they'll talk about a bit later. But essentially, where do you two fall on it? Do you think you should get every Pokemon in the new game? Or do you think it's time for some new Rotom Suck and Gigantugar and...
My only concern is how it affects competitive, which I know they don't think about, and then they're sort of trying their best to torpedo it anyway by getting rid of Megas and Z moves and
I
things.
think they make some allusions to we looked vaguely at VGC to inform the decision that we weren't going to do Megas. So they're
Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh,
The
okay.
decision to
So
take
they care
Megas
about
was
their
informed
competitive then.
somewhat from the VGC, which is obviously their version of competitive.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I am 100% with Rob. It's because you don't know whose favourites are where.
You think they should all be in there?
Yeah,
No
they should all be-
excuses.
Well, the problem is everybody has their own list of irrelevant mons that they wish, taking up valuable data. Everyone's list is going to be different. So,
Right, yeah.
unfortunately, they pit themselves into this corner by making so many objectively irrelevant ones. Like the Finneon lovers, don't at me. But there's plenty of
They
data
will.
there that you needn't have. Right? If they'd have been if they were going to think ahead, or go back to sprites. I've never been particularly enamoured with the 3D models. Just go back to sprites. The problem is a memory
go back
one,
to
right?
sprites on their flagship new console.
Well, that's the problem. But it's not. It's as Rob says. I'm not excited for their flagship version. If they can't be bothered to do it properly, then don't do it at all. Wait for the next console with double the memory, or
Some harsh
okay.
words there from
Okay.
Dominic Gray.
Yeah.
And
I'm
Ray
just
doesn't
not
really
excited.
care as long as
Well, the issue is I'm going to have to
Memphis
buy a Switch. I don't own the Switch, so this has got
Yeah,
to.
neither do I.
This has got to sell the console to me, and if it can't
Yes.
do all the mons, obviously, if I look at the list and not a single one of the ones that I think are really good are left out in the cold, then I'll be like, oh well, then it's fine. It doesn't affect me that much. But odds on it will, because there's
If
too
they've
many
axed
mons that I
Masquerain.
like. Yeah, exactly.
Then you're out.
Yeah, Masquerain's not irrelevant. Who said that? It's top tier.
Pokexit.
Top 1%. Yeah, no, the memes have been brilliant.
That's good. At least some good has come out of this.
Oh,
I
of course.
genuinely feel like it's interesting because obviously the community that's the most enraged are again that legacy community. The kids don't give a shit, right?
No.
Their
Would you say
target
it's a
audience
children's
doesn't
game?
care. That's so weird because they always market these things a lot younger than us. Probably don't care because I haven't got to know half of the mons.
We are all pushing 30. Maybe it's
We're
time
all
to
pushing 30.
give
The
up.
game's pushing 20. It's trying to, or 25. It's trying to, it's just going to get all the cutesy ones that appeal to Generation Z or whatever.
Yep.
Shit.
Is that a real world generation you're talking about now? Not,
It is, isn't it?
not a Pokemon
Yeah,
generation.
it's like
Oh, yes,
baby
I
boomer,
wasn't saying appeal to Generation Z. Oh, great.
millennial, Gen Y, Gen Z. What next though?
Well, Z moves are gone, so
Yeah, why have they done that? That was always very interesting.
Because
I
they
don't
can
know.
just make the sprites bigger.
they
They can call it Turbo Max.
that's been kind of how they've been operating the last few gens. Is they'll come up with a era-defining gimmick and then give it no support the next gen.
Yeah.
I've actually thought about what they're going to do after they make Pokemon bigger, and the only natural conclusion that they're going to make them smaller.
Of course. We'll have
Pokemon.
like Ant-Man
Micromons.
in the Microverse. We'll have Micromons.
But then after that, where next? And I already thought ahead, and I thought they were going to turn them inside out. Pikachu! Like all its guts spewing everywhere. But Ditto would be fine.
That was my first thought. Was Ditto would be fine.
Your first thought was, did that be fine?
Yeah.
Just his little face would disappear.
Yeah.
That'd be it. The only consequence.
But
Anyway.
what do you think they'll do, Ray?
Will they watch out for your league, Ray?
Well,
Is that
yeah.
what they'll do?
Insert segue here. There's some games. So, right. Something about big Pokemon, big matches. It's big.
Wow, that would have been really good.
That would have been really good
Bold.
20 or so seconds ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Season 4 is rumbling on, finally approaching its climax. And we have some games to cover before the grand final.
Let's
We
watch
do.
him.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Enough bollocks. Let's do it. So here we are, phase 4 of the Pearl Bracket, if you can remember such a time. Sam Allner's Ealing Elekkids versus PK's Luton Town Leafeons. At this point, PK was just coming off having beaten me very handily with his Choice Scarf Zapdos, and Sam had just lost to Tom Goodser in the Diamond Bracket.
Oh, of course, yes. It's Sam Honor's first Pearl match.
This is Sam Allner's first Pearl match, so it was, knockout life for both of them. Bring in the A teams.
Which team would you like to look at first, Ray?
Oh, goodness. Let's look at Sam's then. Mega Altaria has been relatively underwhelming throughout the tournament, although it did manage to knock me out of the Diamond Bracket quarterfinals.
Doesn't look very scary, does it?
It
It's a bird that got stuck in a cloud.
Again, if Mega hadn't made it recently relevant, I bet you Altaria would be a candidate for axing.
Right, you think so?
I just don't think it... Because if you're trying to appeal to... Maybe if you're appealing to people who don't know about competitive stuff, it might appeal purely aesthetically, but it's outclassed by every other dragon, right?
Yeah.
What, normal Altaria?
Just,
Well,
yeah.
tell
it's
that
like,
tell that to JP. He's been saving that tech for a long time.
hey, no, I, as you know, Chalk will always be my favourite Altaria. And again, this is why the Nuzlocke makes heroes, right?
Oh,
Half
chalk
those
and
heroes
cheese.
are heroes purely because they're supposed to be irrelevant.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's
Sorry.
something you won't be able to do.
I
No
don't mean to drag it
randomizer.
back to Galar Gate, but still.
We don't talk about Galar Gate because I don't know what to say.
Good save.
There's another flaming monkey. Let's talk about that monkey. Wow. Where's
Infernape.
you?
Yep. Newly dropped to tier 2. Newly picked up.
Finally tiered correctly.
Yeah. It seems in the right spot. It's
It's
come
not
to
swept
most
anyone,
of
is it?
Sam's games.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the right spot, what about Araquanid? Is that in the right tier? Because I
Yes.
think it's not. I think it should be higher.
We have this. Dom and I have this argument every year.
Yeah. And who's on my side?
I
Yeah,
kind of
Ray
think
is-
it's very good with its high power and sticky webs. Dom maintains it's too slow and one-trick pony
That's
to be
it.
any
You just
real use.
listed it.
If that pony's a winner, Dom.
If that,
If it was
it's sort of a
all
two-trick
its
pony.
moves, yes. But given that it's only water moves and water has thoroughly average coverage, then only its
but-
water moves are boosted to such a disgusting extent.
Yeah, but that's still quite a lot of disgust. It's too
Nah.
much disgust for one tier.
I
It
think
is
if
disgusting.
you tiered it any higher, it'd never get picked.
Give myself
That's-
cramp and anger.
well, one thing. Let's shift over to PK's
Don't
side of
be
the field then.
crap in anger. Sorry.
That was
Because one mon that the All Out Pummeling crew were talking about is that Linoon on PK's
Yeah.
side.
That-
And JP
yes.
said he thinks it's tiered too low and it's too dangerous. And
I would agree with that.
PK and Joe both said it's okay where it is.
Well,
I don't-
PK would, because he's got it.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I would agree with JP on that. I think. Go on.
No, go. Oh, well, please.
Who thinks what?
I-
I think anything. Someone give me a thought.
I think it's one of those ones that's gotten more dangerous as little TMs and move tutors have come out. So it now gets stomping tantrum
Yes.
from this gen, which lets it hit steel types in a way it couldn't before. And I think in draft, because normally, right, it has belly drum, extreme speed, and then you've got 2 other moves.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's one of those mons where in draft they can be exactly the right 2.
Yes.
So I think, yeah,
I
don't
agree.
know.
I think
it's
it's
good.
definitely one of the. It's. This is the format where it excels, and obviously when we tier things, we tier stuff based on the meta as our starting point.
Our meta, yeah.
Yeah. I feel
Well,
like
yeah,
PK's
recent
team-
years are meta, but we haven't had a meta to base it on, and who's never been drafted before, right?
Yeah.
So
That's true. Yeah.
only now can we say yes, that's
It's
too low.
too
But
good.
as Ray, I think Ray's absolutely right. It's purely because we've realised how good it is in draft this season, and therefore, not a punishment of the way PKs use it. It's purely, it is
I was going to say, I feel like
where it
PK's team looks very underwhelming. Like, you face that and you go,
It sort of looks like zoo escapees, right?
yeah, it
Like
does, yeah.
just a load of little animals have gotten out. Oh no!
They've got to be smashed. But then, equally, it looks like Sam Alder found his team in the jungle.
I think someone seems certainly the more aesthetically pleasing of the two.
Yeah.
I still.
And that's...
Go
God,
on.
and that's the top tier analysis people come here for.
That's what they want to know is.
That one looks better.
But what do they think looks?
We've missed
better?
you, Sam.
I provide valuable conversation and input.
Shall we get into the match then and see
Yeah,
how
we
it went
should,
down?
Yeah. Let's have a look. Save your back some problems, right? Let's go.
Thanks, man.
So it's me to do it. So I'm going to hit play in 3, 2,
Is it
1.
slow or normal?
It's on normal.
Well, I press play.
Well, you shouldn't have done.
Don
You
Notto.
asked me a question, didn't you?
Oh,
I've reset it now.
Reset yourself.
We're just a bit rusty, guys. Obviously, this happens.
We're going to go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Don Nutto. What a great name. Ezio Auditore is also good.
Ezio Auditore is, yeah.
one of the
pretty
names of
damn-
the season for me, I
pretty
think.
damn good. If you want to talk about the
Royal
fact that there's a bit of bulky
It also gets
superior-
toxic as well. Look.
Everything gets toxic. Get out.
Yeah, but that gets it. So the double
Yeah.
screens.
PK loves this bulky,
Bulky
superior.
with Leaf Storm as its only
I could-
offensive presence.
I can kind of see it. You know, you don't need that much attack investment when you're just smacking stuff with grass type moves and getting a boost, but
I feel like
yeah,
overheat.
don't know.
Yeah.
don't know. It's a nice niche. It gives it another kind of option to use in a draft format
Yes.
rather than just
Liquidation.
being a Leaf Storm guy.
See, that was
too
the liquidation you were also scared about.
Yeah, that is behind two screens.
That is behind, yeah.
Damn it, yeah, he's right.
It's too good. Oh, he tried to suck a punch, but he wished. That's
I-
that was
yeah,
good play
that-
from Sam A.
Yeah,
good
Wish
play.
Tech on the Jolteon, very nice.
Moxie stalling out those screens. Get Johnny Blaze back in.
Oh no, it's happening again.
Oh, you got to read that substitute, but then I guess you have to sort of suck a punch, don't you?
Substitute the perfect anti-sucker punch tech.
Yeah.
It's a Rabombi.
Ribombi.
Decidueye, who will win?
What does Draining Kiss do? Is it just like Leech Seed?
It's more
Like
like
Giga
Mega
Drain,
Drain.
but-
It's like really
That's
low
what I mean.
power.
Yeah.
It's an absorb move, but it's like 50 base, I think.
Oh, yeah, I think you're
Gotta
right.
Gotta get something quick. That's not quick.
That's not
dead.
quick.
That's not quick.
That's not quick either.
You have to assume there's no priority on that Infernape then.
Yeah.
Not
it
Vacuum
lived.
Wave nor
I
Mac
can't
Punch.
believe it lived. I'm impressed.
You
You
wonderful,
wonderful
bird.
Bit sexist, but we'll let it go.
Here we are. Lanoon, perfect opportunity.
To belly drum
Just
and
clean
speed
up.
quick.
And yeah, it's over.
There's no priority there. That's what
I was going to
it's
say,
not
this
over
whole
yet.
match could have gone another... Well, no, not necessarily. Extreme Speed is faster than Mac Punch.
It's not
Um,
over because usually Sam On has said it's over by the time he thinks he doesn't say anything.
It ain't over till the Sam sings.
Yes, I always forget Extreme Speed is +2 priority, not just +1. So even
But
other
Sucker Punch
priority
is
moves.
plus 3 priority.
Oh,
Right, okay.
Sucker
so you
Punch
can-
Infernape, if it gets it, which I don't know if it does, because it's not a punch, is it? In Japanese, it's surprise attack, and therefore not everything that gets hands has Sucker Punch.
Despite your immortal line of
Despite
you fear everything
my
with
immortal
hands.
line of fearing the hands, you don't always. That's the problem, Ray. Stuff with hands can still fuck you up.
Yeah,
Stuff without
Imagine
hands
that.
even can still fuck you up.
that's what. I was thinking.
Like surprise
Sam's
attack
been quite good.
electrode.
He said, he said you deserve to win after such a long wait. He's been really nice and humble. Wow, what a guy. What a polite way.
Yeah, so that was Sam's exit from the tournament.
Oh, he wants to
Dignified.
win so bad. I feel
No,
like
dignified and
sometimes
not on the
Sam's
back
is
of
old.
not on the
Yeah,
back of a
yeah.
mistake or a perceived mistake.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, yes, you're right. That's quite unusual. Because I know Sam gets plagued by Captain Hindsight, and he kind of
Yeah.
feels often that he.
Or even
Yeah.
foresight, as Sam says.
He's
Quite
one of
often
those-
at turn 17, 16, he says, I've lost.
Yeah.
I know
He's
what
one
I've
of
done.
those players that if you had him on your team, you've got to get a really good mental coach because if he's flying,
Yes.
no one can beat me. I'm invincible. But then as soon as one of those pawns goes the wrong way, he crumbles like a house of cards. I don't know. What is this? But no,
Yeah.
you never want to face him when he's on a hot streak. Like, do you remember the first undefeated group stage
course.
as well?
I think we
Yeah,
all
of
remember
course.
that, yeah.
Way back in
Yeah.
season 1.
With his Electabuzz, I think it was, or
Electivire, yeah.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, he's done very well this season. Got
I
very
think
far.
Maybe being head teacher means that he hasn't got the time to pour into being the best, being the champ. Yeah.
He's just
Who
needs
knows?
to train up a new generation of students instead.
Yeah.
It's true.
Take
If you
on
think
more of
about
a-
all the mons, the various teachers at the trainer schools in game, they're always pretty rubbish. So he's just, settling down to a lower level where he doesn't, doesn't have to push himself. That's fine.
Ooh, that's not what we're
He's proved
saying.
himself. He's proved himself. He can retire quite happily and just keep.
Retire.
Retire until he's champ. He's going to carry
Yeah. No,
He
the,
loves
Look,
the
I'm
Pokemon.
fueling
He
him
loves
up.
the game.
I'm putting a target for him. I'm the red rag to his bull.
Right.
he
Nice,
he
yeah.
is the only player who's ascended a color group every season. He
Yeah.
went from
Shit
yellow
off.
to green to blue to red this season. So
Wow.
he's got that drive and determination. So he
On
should
the
have been
other
champ.
hand- on the
Champ
other
was
hand,
the only
at the
place
top,
left to
had
go.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we all want to be champ, Ray. And let's say we're on to PK. That was good.
Yep.
That's good
PK
stuff
continues his hot streak.
there.
This will be I forget how many games he's won in Pearl at this point. I guess phase
Many.
4. I guess it's
Well,
been
all
4
the
in a
ones
row.
he's come to.
Yeah. Yep. The only player
Could've seen that.
who started in Pearl bracket still in the league at this point.
Yeah.
So shall we move on to our next game?
Let's move
Yeah,
on
just,
to the next game.
Just a well done to PK. Very good. Some good strategy there.
Yeah.
He didn't see the Zygar, but he's
Didn't even
obviously
need
been-
to.
Yeah, he didn't even
Yeah.
bust it out.
Shut with 5 mons. Fuck it.
Yeah, some good stuff.
Don't think
Anyway.
we saw the heat trend either, did we?
Yeah,
Or
the
did
very
we?
I think
beginning
it
we
popped
did.
out occasionally.
Oh,
with a
okay.
Flash cannon maybe, but it was
Oh
good.
yeah. Okay.
Anyway, well done.
All right. Let's move on. Okay, so here we are. Our second match in Phase 4 of the Pearl bracket is Rob Simmons' Bristol Braveries versus JP's Toddington Torracats. 2 hot tickets. So Rob was the favourite going into the playoffs, undefeated in group
Oh.
stages.
Oh, okay. Because mathematically the favourite, rather than your favourite.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, not my favourite.
That was bold. Just nail your colours firmly to Rob's mast before we go. Okay, no, that's fine. You do you.
I'll leave Rob's mast well enough alone, thank you. Speaking of which, the snake is absent. Solid.
Disgusting as a
no,
segue.
that's something I would say. That's disgusting. I was thinking about some kind of full mask thing, but it never really came out.
Yeah. Yeah, so Rob was the favourite going into the playoffs and narrowly lost to Chris in the opening match after not quite enough prep time. Ended up here against JP. Oh, well, a couple of games later ended up here against JP. So this was JP dropping down after also losing to Chris Munden, I think.
That's what
Munden
Chris
on
Munden
a
does.
rampage.
He
So
chews
two
you
of-
up and spits you out.
2 of Munden's many conquests
The monster.
battling each other. Yep, so Rob has no snake this match.
Yeah.
JP a bit taken aback by that.
What do you think? I mean, we've often what's the right word? Commended Rob for his use of the Steelix. In terms of the role it was performing, it was. I don't feel like it was necessarily a wall. It was doing a fair amount of damage each time, wasn't it?
I think he used it in quite a versatile way, didn't he?
Yeah.
Kept swapping it up. And,
It wasn't just-
made people.
It was sort of an unkillable earthquake stealth rock machine, right? It was just
Yeah, it was hazards, but it wasn't ever, just all out bulk. Whereas I feel like the Shuckle, which I guess is the closest replacement stats wise, is not offering you any of that offensive pressure.
No.
Oh, no, it's horrible Shuckle.
Don't fuckle with Shuckle.
Hey.
Have no chuckle with Shuckle.
Wait.
And then JP
Alright.
leaving his tier 1 Mimikyu at home again in favour of that type null. And
I
Leafeon.
don't know if that's not somehow JP's strategy this whole time. Every time he doesn't bring the freaking Mimikyu,
Just
because everyone has
what?
to have some sort of shitty way of dealing with its disguise ability.
Yes.
And he just knows that it'll fuck someone's moveset up because it'll have
Yes.
to have. I guess Cloyster is the best one here that doesn't need to worry so much.
Oh, with the skill link.
You're thinking,
Yes,
so
of
long as
course.
Cloyster exists, I have an answer to Mimikyu,
Yep.
which
Yeah, I
immediately
can see that.
devalues its appearance on the team as soon as Mimikyu doesn't show
But
up.
I feel like Rob's the kind of guy to run shell armor, don't you?
You mugging
Now I
him
don't
off
know
in front of his
what
pals.
That's what I think.
Why do you?
Well, Rob
Because
can...
Rob famously gets crit.
Oh.
See, I'm still with it. I'm still young and remember what we did. You guys are old
still
and
young.
no
Wow,
memories.
like a meme from 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, well, it's a hot meme. I don't
Yeah,
forget memes.
But surely-
Actually, the
but
meme
don't old people
cemetery.
stereotypically dwell more in the past? No, never mind.
Dig that
Get
up.
out of it. That was in the past, Ray. Come on, let's move on.
I'm young, I'm hip. Yeah, so no Steelix for Rob, no Mimikyu for JP.
JP's Pangoro.
Freaking
JP's
Leafeon on that
Pangoro.
team. I don't know what to deal with this anymore.
Yeah,
Why
Crazy
does it sound
Leafeon.
so despondent?
Skarmory,
No, I-
JP's best Pokemon.
Yeah, I can't even.
He
How's
tried
JP
doing
done
the
this?
weak armor set that you guys wouldn't let me do.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's made it his own.
Yeah.
it's now his set.
It's
Damn, it was my set. I just never
no,
had
I'm
the gall to
afraid it's
use
his.
it. Shit. It was never very good though. I think I saw JP use it. And I was like, oh, that's why I never used it.
cool.
Yeah, wasn't great.
Yeah. No,
Alright, Dom.
it's gone off at least once. Shall we get into this and see how it went down?
Let's get into it.
I think so.
Right.
Okay, Dom, take us
3,
away.
2, 1, play.
Oh, I do like Feraligatr. It was one of my starters back in the day.
I like,
Yeah, me
oh,
too.
I've just realised that the nicknames are all snake based, and that's why JP's even more upset that there's no
Yeah.
snake on the other side.
Oh, yeah, Liquid the Feraligatr.
Shadow the Edgehog. Oh shit, a nasty plot.
Yeah, I was
that.
pretty worried on JP's behalf here as well.
Zonks it. It misses.
Yeah.
Tragic.
No one wants to
Yeah.
see that.
That's big.
Look at this Shadow the Hedgehog doing good stuff.
The
Magnet
Magnet
Rise.
Rise. For the
He
Earth
did.
Power is beautiful. The biggest fuck you to your Earth Power Hydro. Though to be fair, Dark Pulse is a nice chunk.
So I guess that was tech for the Steelix as well.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Steel Stab you resist, and it's the Earthquake that you fear, so
And if it was Choice Scarf Hydreigon, I think you get outsped anyway.
this is pretty great from Rob, the Z Celebrate,
Does
although
that celebrate on the
Type
Sylveon?
Steve is absorbing it very nicely.
It's
Well,
disgusting.
Toxic's good way to do it as well.
Icy wind.
Icy Wind to drop the speed, what a little bitch.
No idea what that's about. That draining kiss move again there, Sam, for you.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, pretty good with boosts.
Doing a big old wish.
Poor
digging a
PK.
wish back in. Type null.
Yeah, Rob's had enough of that.
Shuckleberry Fin.
And it's
Here
rain
comes
dance.
a rain dance.
And what were you thinking here, Ray?
I mean, I think it was a good call.
Yeah?
I mean, Rob crashed out of the quarterfinal largely because Chris Munden kind of exposed a water weakness in his team.
Right.
Big stab waterfalls coming from Mega Gyarados kind of dismantled him there. So I think JP was
I didn't get
latching
this
onto
bit.
that.
The dragon dance and the runaway. I didn't quite
He
understand.
got
what was
encored, so you just have to
going on
keep
there.
encoring.
Oh,
and
I
something else can come
missed the
set up.
encore.
Yeah.
Okay, that was why.
Another toxic there. Type Steve.
Good old Type Steve. I think, is this choice band this close to it, do you reckon? Rather than Shell Smash? To do that much?
I don't know anymore, because the way JP
Oh.
specs and builds these Skarmories, I can't rely on it to be the bulky Skarmory.
Flinch there saves Skarmory,
Yeah,
so
cheeky Flinch.
Yes.
everything in JP's favour, really. RNG-wise, this game.
Don't say that.
JP's Pangoro.
JP's... I'd forgotten he'd actually called it that.
Well, who else is it going to call it, isn't
I admire him. I like Pangoro. Or Pancham. Pancham was my favourite Gen 6 Pokemon.
He's not made it in.
No, not yet. That's too low tier even for JP, is Eviolite Pancham.
Oh, I was talking about the Angulargate again.
Oh.
I don't know if that's the case, I just thought I'd shit you up.
No! Oh,
There goes the Eviolite. Oh, no.
Finally, the Eviolite is lost. And that's
but
Steve's.
Pancham has the cute factor.
No.
This thing is toxic. 3 Pokemon are not missed at all. I'm outraged.
I'm sure Ed can tell us why that's perfectly reasonable.
Here it comes.
But yeah, I know what you mean. It's all been in JP's favour. And here we are, Liquid
Jet
Snake,
as well.
finally.
What is the Feraligatr? It's just Life Orb Sheer Force, right? There's no rain-based abilities it gets. It's purely just to boost the water type damage.
Yes.
That's all
Z
that's getting
Hydro
from it.
Vortex to out on a Z move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
Now
mean,
with style.
Yeah.
It was just
that-
a systematic dismantling, wasn't it? It wasn't like the pivotal. Oh, he's got him. It was just. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
that's JP playing like JP.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pulling
Magnet
off
Rise
his
here
style.
And a bullet punch Pangoro there. And yeah, no.
Utility type null will set up the rain for a Feraligatr sweep.
Feraligatr sweep.
Of
Why?
course.
Who's looking at Feraligating? Of course, a rain sweeper. No
Yeah.
one's-
No
I-
one's
maybe,
thinking that.
maybe. So obviously, yeah. The way we saw it, I don't know if the rain was ever that necessary. But
Well, it certainly
can't hurt, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Presumably, it
spend
gets a crucial KO on something.
Yeah, lets you
at
kill
full.
Landorus after Intimidate, maybe. Or
Maybe after the Intimidate drop, it's
you
still
probably
is-
need it to muscle through the Steelix, I imagine. Like Hydro Vortex
Oh,
in the
of course it
rain
was
might
probably there
Oko
for the
Steelix.
Yeah, it's probably there for the
Everything there for that Steelix. So it kind of makes sense, really, for Rob not to bring it almost.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, commiserations because he fought
Yeah.
bloody well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good match.
But,
Yeah, I
enjoyed
really
that one.
thought this was going to be Rob's season to end up in the final, at least, if not take it.
Yeah, no, you keep calling him the favourite for some reason. You were quite
He-
determined he was going to win.
He was going in; he was undefeated. But
Oh yeah, but you know what I mean.
alas.
Alas, indeed.
But hopefully, this has rekindled the fire. Now that he's started
Oh
winning
yeah, it's
again.
come so close.
Upward
His-
trajectory from here, surely.
Yeah, I
definitely.
think so.
And then
Right.
JP the wacky inventor moves on to
Another
phase
one.
5.
Let's go see phase 5, Ray.
Let's see phase 5. Okay. Moving on then, we have phase 5 of the Pearl bracket. We have JP's Toddington Torracats versus PK's Luton Town Leafeons, a clash of the all-out pummeling hosts. I was very keen on this battle. I wanted one of them out. My only regret was
that
that
was
they couldn't
guaranteed to
both
happen.
lose.
You didn't have to
We
hope
were all
that
sat on
hard.
the sideline.
I know, I like guarantees.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah, this was ensuring that there'd be one less all-out pummeling hat in the ring
Yes.
come the final.
Were any of our hats in the ring at this point, fellas?
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Well, yeah,
Actually
boo!
cast aside.
Yep, your hats were
Going
knocked
in.
aside pretty quickly. Mine hung on for a little bit, but PK.
I never put my hat on.
I
Blew
did.
it out of my hand.
A passing breeze blew it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy come, easy go.
I mean, obviously, yeah, we didn't cover the previous two, therefore I had no opportunity to give our predictions, but I would not have been able to call this one going in.
Very close, isn't it? Very equally matched.
But, yeah, also equally unconventional. You know what I mean?
True, yeah. No, I do see
There's
that. I
a-
feel like a bit of JP is rubbed up onto PK.
There's a madcap inventor feel to both teams that are sort of It's just a collection of mons that
Also,
just do very well. Go on.
JP's had a cracking season, but PK at this point is coming in shit hot to this match, right? He's
Yeah.
just won the last 4 in a row. Like, he just can't be
It feels
stopped.
good to win.
But then perhaps, I don't know what happened, but he thought, Mr. Mime's time to shine? So, I don't know, maybe all the cocaine and the
cracked.
hookers got to him, and yeah.
Hey, sometimes you got to play the player, though. I mean, JP, what do you think about Mr. Mime? Probably. So
I mean, JP's the one person who will definitely consider all his tier 5s first. JP will go first at Mr. Mime. How will I prep with that?
I feel like someone went into JP's house and flipped his monitor as a prank, and then whenever he looks at the teams, he sees tier 5s and tier 1s, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll bring all these tier 1s.
Oh.
Mimikyu
What do we think
finally
about
arrived,
PK's
though.
team? Yeah. Sorry, Dom,
PK's
what
team
did
is
you say?
interesting. PK's team is, maybe Mr. Mime isn't as bulky as I think it is, but there's a lot of bulk between Lone Molar, Heat Rat, and Mr. Mime. Potentially Mega Heracross as well, which is contrasted greatly with JP's all-out power.
Yes.
A lot of power, isn't
Very
there?
offensive just with the Skarmory for defense. And
Ha-
unusually he
hacks
has
the
brought his
Mimikyu.
Mega and his tier 1.
Yeah,
What?
that's how you know he needs
Oh, yeah.
business.
Yeah,
He's ready to win.
He's treating
Let's
PK
see
with
if he
respect.
wins.
Yes. Right,
excited.
guys. 3, 2, 1, go.
So, a strong start with the Monetric versus Don Nutto. Nice.
So I think PK said in All Out Pummeling that his objective was to remove the Skarmory, and then he thought Linoon could kind of take things from here.
Yeah.
But that's his Heatran already down to a quarter health.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not brought the Zapdos, so that's one of his big Skarmory.
How is he going to get rid of the Skarmory? And it's
Yeah.
an all-out pummeling!
Oh, I
What a
didn't think-
quad resist.
I guess it wasn't
Psychic
very
Fairy
good.
Mr. Mime.
All Out Pummeling having no impact on proceedings there.
Oh! That's a
Going
sound
largely
bite.
ignored.
That's going to use that for the extravaganza video.
Underwhelming.
Reflect. Oh, dear.
Ray, what's your opinion on all-out pummeling? Well... And then we just cut you in. You know, like Homer Simpson, the clock going wild. And backwards forward.
Oh, look at the future site doing work, and Jamie Rat Superfan going down.
I mean,
So-
yeah, no one likes to see Mimikyu go down so quick.
Yeah.
But the
Fu-
future site was genius. I like
Future Sight, I like to think JP copied that from me. This was my
Ah.
strategy against PK.
Yeah.
Because it can get Wish Protectors are vulnerable to it because it hits after they've protected themselves but before Wish lands. So you can kind of sneak in and get them there.
Famously, they're changing that for 8th gen, apparently.
That's bullshit, I know, but I can tell.
Here comes another future
I'm just
site.
going to keep
Look at this.
making stuff up until no one buys Gen 8 and we tank it. Come on, guys.
We do have
We've got a pretty
sphere
big
of
platform.
influence.
Yeah, I know.
We're
I'm influential
influencers.
in my circle.
That future site has a lot of damage.
It's what, 120 power, is it? 100?
Something like that.
Is it
Oh,
more?
we had this discussion. I'm wrong. It's not variable, and yes, you can work it out, but I can't remember how you work it out. Ed, tell
I
us.
think
Ed was here.
it's 120 power at least, I think, so it's very strong.
I'm getting frightened about that outrage Haxorus.
I'm
Elite
getting frightened that it's not
Haxorus.
going to get burnt any minute.
Yeah.
How's it not burnt?
Yeah.
Wow. It's confused though.
It's got a
don't
berry
worry.
for that, Sam. You crazy.
Persim Berry, genius.
He's thought of that.
Is that the confused berry?
It is. So
Yes.
even if he had got burned, it wouldn't have triggered. It's not the catch-all status
No.
berry. It's just
Here
the
comes
confused berry.
Pin missile.
That was an interesting choice actually, not to go with the just the generic Lumberry. Because you'd want
Yeah.
your burn cured, wouldn't you? If you got
Well, you burn or your paralysis.
yeah
Normally,
no
Lum is preferred, but
crit
Against
volt
the
switch.
sticky berry. Yeah.
straight out to Skarm.
I mean, why not? I think that's the one thing this Linoon can't shred.
Full Metal Altera is quite a funny name. There you go.
JP
Wow.
victorious.
I mean, we have to clap PK out, right? Because
Oh yeah,
to get this far, that's pretty damn hot.
yeah, yeah.
End of an
He needs
era.
an extra little medal or something just for that
Oh, yeah.
streak.
Longest streak.
I think maybe just the pressure got to him towards the end.
I told you, it's the cocaine and the hookers.
But,
It went to his head.
You know, when JP's in your head, he's rattling around, banging all his pans in there. It's crazy strats.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Sounds like JP.
Famous pan banger. Don't know where I'm going with this.
Oh dear. Yeah. So yeah, very well played from JP. PK needed
Yeah.
the Skarmory to go down, but didn't quite manage it.
Sure.
Close though.
There might have been a
Really
little.
close.
Well, it's a 30% chance to burn, right? There's no guarantees.
One thing,
But a
I
little
am
bit
quite-
of luck.
Yeah.
No
One
hacks.
thing I am quite
but a
pleased
little bit of
about
luck.
is that this wish protect strategy is people are cottoning on how to beat it now with the future sight. I feel like it was getting a bit too powerful, so I'm pretty
It's
pleased. that
nice
people
to
have
see
thought
some
of a way.
tech against that stuff.
Yeah, I think
I always
so.
think about feint, which is a move that exists, but that's meant to counter protect, but it's just so rubbish it doesn't really.
It
does
works
it
in
do?
doubles. So the idea is that it can hit through protect, but crucially it also removes the protect. Now in singles it doesn't make a difference because you remove the protect or it protects. Who cares? The turn's over either way. But in
Yeah.
doubles, if your feint
Oh,
goes off,
right.
you remove their protect for the second.
Oh,
person
so that
to
your
follow.
partner can then hit them. Oh,
Yes.
okay. I see.
So it does have utility in doubles, but yeah, you're right, Ray. As a singles thing, it's entirely non-move.
Yeah,
Because
'cause
it's like a 40 base damage,
Yeah.
low distribution move that will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I always think something like that might be nice tech in draft to have a move that actually counters protect if you know if you know there's a mon that leans
Yeah.
heavily on that. You know, you get the hard read on something. Don't know. Anyway,
Cool.
that is
Yeah.
PK's exit at long last after a very, very valiant campaign.
Yeah.
And JP moves on to the final of the Pearl bracket
No, I
against
got really excited
whoever.
then when you said final. Not quite the final, but a final
Almost.
nonetheless.
He will be playing off against the loser of the Diamond bracket final, which we are just about to take a gander at.
Well, let's do it now.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, let's.
Hey!
So here we are, the Diamond bracket final. 2 players were undefeated at this point. It was
Shit
Tom
on.
Goodsair's Limehouse Luxrays and Chris Munden's Chippenham Town Charmeleons.
How did you know?
2 Hodnear School veterans ready to throw down. Both bringing their A game and
Well,
a double aid from Tom.
And a Mesprit. The double aid is completely legit.
Poor Mesprit.
It's Mesprit. It's the joke.
I do despise those pixies.
Exactly.
Golisopod looks a bit like an aggressive pine cone.
Yeah.
Move over Ferrothorn and Pineco.
Yeah.
They've been used
There's a new
to
aggressive Pineco.
There's a better pine cone in town. I'm sure you'd be fearful of it, Dom, because it's was drafted solely just to mess you up at one time.
It was the ultimate disrespect. It was drafted to fuck me up right after I just tried to fuck other people up with it and failed.
Yeah.
the anti-dom.
But yeah, no, it's up there with the Dom killing Darmanitan as my own little personal demons. Never fucked me up before like Bomber Snow and Ray.
Oh, bloody Bomber Snow.
But
It's okay, no one
yeah.
drafts that in Draft League.
I
so
know exactly.
I'm
I've
safe.
often thought maybe I should be the one to do it.
Oh, maybe we should drop the Mega Bomber Snow to one of the lower tier megas.
Well,
Let someone have a
discussion
hail
for
team.
another time.
A discussion for another time. Yeah, okay. This match. What do we think?
I think it's scary teams.
It is scary teams from both. I think they've both brought the best Pokemon.
Yeah,
They have.
Chomp is scary, Tentacruel is tanky, Tapu Bulu, what's it gonna do? You've got
That's pretty
Tapu
good.
Kakao, which is Rob's own
Kakao.
personal, I don't know,
Nemesis.
Everest, yeah, Nemesis, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Latios. Porygon 2 is a Pokemon that I hate because I like Porygon and I don't
I
like
hate it too.
the second one. I don't know, I just think it's crap, and I don't know what it does, and it's always like try attack, and it's really
It's
weird.
like
so.
the type
Not a
null
fan.
on JP's team. It's the Eviolite abusers.
Yeah,
You
I'm
have
not a
to have
fan of it.
knockoff. You have to have knockoff on it.
I don't like it all that much. I think it's good.
yeah. Anyway, sorry, we went pretty hard on Porygon 2 there. And Gyarados, which I think everyone likes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah, he's getting in. You know he's getting in. It's disgusting. That's what it is.
Yeah, big red Gyarados. What? Anyway, let's watch.
Sure, yeah,
Right.
let's see how
What
this one
happens?
played out.
Let's see who smashes up who.
3, 2, 1, go. Why it's Beast
Tangrowth
and Baps
and Baps
McGee.
McGee.
Perhaps.
You can call it a funny name. I still don't care for it.
Oh, light clay before you can even use the
Before the
reflect.
screen is rough.
Yeah.
But LL Cool J makes up for it just by being LL Cool J.
What
The
does
liquid
do?
ooze.
It's a tiny amount of damage. It's not. I don't think it's the same amount you'd absorb. It just stings them for a little bit. It's
Alright.
against those draining moves. Any draining move will damage the opponent
Rather than heal them.
rather than heal. Instead of heal. So it does. I guess it's slightly more beneficial that way if you were relying on the heal.
Oh, there goes
So
the
we see
sunshine.
knockoff doesn't take anything there, so this is a Z move Latios.
Which is what prompts Tom to ask the question. Right, Mega Latios is banned, right?
Yeah. Porygon for the ghost immunity, very nice.
Oh, nice little miss
I
there.
still get confused when I see Thunderwave miss. My head
Yeah.
is so much in the past.
Yeah. Hidden power ice, we assume?
Presumably, I think Hidden Power Poison would have done a lot more.
No, but it's got ice beam.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
it's been frozen too.
I don't know what to tell you then, Ray. It was Hidden Power Poison, alright? God.
The freeze is very bad.
Oh, the recover too.
Cover's disgusting.
It's getting flashbacks to when Rob uses it. Oh, paralyzed. No one likes to see that.
Yeah, having
It's gonna
Volcarona
use-
paralyzed is big.
First impression, do we think?
Well, you kind of want the water move against Volcarona, but no. Ooh.
Yeah. Here comes the Duke Blade.
It's
Doing a lot of
brave, I think,
boosting.
to boost knowing that the Thunder Wave. I guess Thunder
I-
Wave doesn't really.
You're so
matter
slow
against-
anyway, aren't you, on double blade? So I guess
Yeah,
that's
I
what
guess.
Tom's thinking. That is sort of irrelevant.
Doesn't this also get gyro ball? Doesn't that actually get boosted the slower he is?
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Double dancing, you know my views on double dancing, everyone.
Yeah, you're not a fan.
See, look, now he's not doing anything.
That's
gonna
not
use
because he
recover.
double danced, is it?
He's gonna use recover.
I think Tom's got the right idea here, boosting up against this.
Yeah,
He's seen
no,
it
I
can't
think
really
so.
hurt him.
It's
That can hurt him.
Tapuko. Yeah, here it comes. Oh,
Oh, so see with another boost.
Should have triple boosted, shouldn't you, Tom?
oh, and then the
Oh.
paralyzed. That feels awful.
Paralyzed at the worst time.
Yeah, you just really want to use the shadow sneak there.
Oh, Jesus, that's a disgusting amount of damage.
Yeah, it's brave boosting in the face of that, but
Yep, I assume just a miscalc there from Tom,
yeah.
defense-wise
Well,
or
'cause of electric terrain, you
speed-wise.
forget,
Yeah. And then it's just sort of all gone wrong.
It's all sort of gone wrong. It's
Oh,
all sort of
another
undone.
boost just to really kill the Tapu Koko.
I
Then
guess he was
boost.
predicting a switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is he predicting?
I don't know,
Listen to yourself.
because of the ground type scaring out the.
Oh, you
the
think
electric.
that
I don't know.
either the Levitator or the Gyarados was such an obvious play?
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, it just
anyway.
kills you with the Latios in a minute anyway, right?
Oh yeah,
Still
and
starts where
Latios
you're like, Latios is still going to kill you.
Z move Latios as well, probably with devastating Drake or something to
Doesn't
really.
need it. Devastating Drake would just be showboating.
I feel like that was
That was comprehensive, is what it was.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah, a
strong
very
showing.
commanding performance from Chris.
27 turns though, so it was a well fought match. So the score probably doesn't perhaps reflect how close it was.
Yeah. Well, there are sort of some periods where it was just kind of wall v wall, right, or nothing much was happening, and then
Yeah.
just whenever something broke, it was on Tom's side of the field.
This Tapu Koko just came through and swept.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Tapu Koko, sorry, a Tapu Koko fan.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I love to see it, but at the same time, that was brutal.
That Garchomp had a family.
Like, yeah, I mean, well, the Catchup would have got off easy. Oh, Swords Dance! Sure, do what you like to.
Yeah, keep going.
Yep, so that is Chris Munden becoming our first grand finalist this season. Undefeated
Congratulations,
in playoffs, 3 wins in a row, and Tom Goodsir tumbling down to face the winner of or not quite the winner of the Pearl Bracket, but tumbling down into the
Yeah.
Pearl Bracket at the final hurdle to face JP.
Wow.
But I
Let's-
want to know what happened in that match, Ray.
Well done. Let's find out. Here we are then, the Pearl Bracket final, the penultimate fixture of Season 4, and it is Tom Goodsir's Limehouse Luxrays versus JP's Toddington Torracats. there's a Kecleon in town.
There's a Kecleon. I had to hold my mouth. What's going on there?
my prequel memes are playing up. I'm looking at Tom in the chat saying I've been looking forward to this, and I could just hit Count Dooku.
Oh God.
Oh God, you need to get off prequel me.
Is Tom a political idealist?
Not a murderer. Thanks, Ray. That's great. Feel free, please. We can carry on now. Sorry, yeah, Kecleon.
Yeah, a cheeky Kecleon and an ordinary Gardevoir. Tom is bringing some
all right.
tech.
It's not revealed itself as ordinary just yet.
I feel like that's JP's favourite team as well.
Look. Yeah, JP's kind of bringing the A game and Altaria.
Yeah.
And then Tom's got a couple of wacky mons. He did. I messaged him just before this game and said, how are you feeling about things? You nervous? And he said, well, it's JP and he'll just sort of bring whatever the hell he wants. So I guess I can do the same, right? So
and
I guess that's
say no, and that's why we have Kecleon on the field. Well done, Ray. It's your fault.
Good. You don't know.
Oh.
No,
Brings some much
spoilers,
needed
I was
cuteness
actually very
factor.
impressed. Yeah.
So how are you going to beat that Tapu Bulu with that squad there?
You mean the Tapu Bulu?
Tapu Bulu.
The Tapu Bululu.
Tapu Bulu.
I mean, big Skarmory, Brave Bird.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Possibly.
I was thinking of Iron Head because you've got nice.
Sure.
On the Gardevoir as well, of course.
Yes.
With 2 fairy types, you can.
And I wonder
Almost
if
on the Skarmory.
Tom being very slightly soft to flying, maybe that's why the Altaria's here for a big Z Supersonic Sky Strike on an unsuspecting Bulu or
Maybe.
Volcarona, I don't know.
That.
But then you are weak to Fairy. Yeah. Yeah, shall we dive in?
Let's go. Ready.
Let's dive in. 3, 2, 1, go.
Luckily, I had the music off as well, just in time.
That is lucky.
Yeah.
Gardevoir's start to trace the lightning rod is very funky. I like
It's a
that.
fantastic start.
And a big moonblast.
Special attack drop on the Moonblast.
Oh, double as well. Here comes Type Null. It just looks
Double
so
out.
weird.
The old double out to bait the rock slide. Does it have?
I
rock
would
slide?
double
Yes,
out
it
as well
does.
because you've got no idea what that thing's going to do.
Oh yeah, always.
Oh, no,
Bird.
sword stance. Look at that. Oh, nice.
Some of the EVLI user there. The Keck of Leon. That's a great name.
Keck of Leon.
I call it Cacleon.
His sex
Oh,
is
look, it's
on
a dark
fire.
type now.
That's what he does.
Oh, look at this.
It had
Sharp beak.
What's Sharp Beak?
It boosts flying type moves.
Just for the Brave Bird power, for nothing else.
Rough
Going
skin, rocky
health.
helmet, recoil.
Beautiful.
Weak armor. There goes the weak armor, and then it's dead. Oh dear.
Rough skin, rocky helmet. It's disgusting.
I can't
to
believe
see.
you went for the weak armor again.
Yeah. That does seem ballsy as a play at this stage of
It's
the game.
Kecleon. Just taking names.
Kecleon, those knockoffs have been huge as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say I didn't want to spoil it, but I was actually really impressed with Kecleon throughout the match.
Yeah.
Weakness policy.
It's
wow.
got on my radar.
Weakness policy,
Love it.
Bulu. Great shout.
Baloo.
Sorry, I mean Tapu Bulu.
Weakness policy to Poobaloo. Can't believe it.
Become a thing.
I feel like JP's losing some ground. Here comes Kecleon.
His mind, he's got nothing for it.
He's lost his mind.
Come on, Keck of Leon. I was rooting for the Kecleon at this point.
Kecleon.
It could be on anyone's team. It's just that cute little Kecleon. I never thought he was cute before either.
So I did confirm with Tom after the match that is a Salt Vest Kecleon that we're seeing there.
Oh wow.
So some nice
yeah,
tanky
we
bulk.
saw it. It got it knocked off earlier.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking. So
I think. Well, maybe I saw an assault vest knockoff, and I thought it was that.
here comes the. Oh, that's rough skin and rocky helmet. Oof.
This is the Keck of Leon. Woo!
And it's just kind of
Everyone
acting as
just
a
wears-
brick wall to that Manectric. It's being a mega Manectric check. It's that tier 5 Kecleon.
Yeah,
Not
he's
what you
resorted to
thought.
supersonic just to kill it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my Kecleon.
Aww.
You
Sure,
definitely
you're
want to
right,
be using
Ray.
supersonic.
A
to
tragedy
smash
has
like
occurred.
Kecleon. Here we go. Iron Head. That's
No,
not
so
very
I
well.
do feel for JP if you're in a match with this high stakes and then something you didn't expect at all starts going crazy.
Yeah,
you just start to sweat, don't you?
you do.
I can't
Particularly when
lose
it's a
to
tier 5
Kecleon.
though, that is the stuff of legend, right? When the tier
Yes.
5 has fucked you up so much.
Yes.
Even JP, who we've just said, always plans for the tier 5s.
Even he didn't look that low.
Even he's not gone, yeah, but Kecleon is to go mad.
Good old Shadow Sneak.
But this is dangerous. Jamie
This
Rat
is
behind in the
dangerous.
skies.
I
With
was
yeah.
I was terrified. I thought after all the good work done in the first 30 turns,
Yes.
done with the Jamie Rat super fan.
Boosted. No!
He double boosted, but it's worked.
Oh,
Double boost had
they
to
know
be
more than I
done.
do. Yeah.
Had to be done to push through.
And switching out there, I think because he fears that Rocky Helmet
Yeah,
You
of
just kill
course.
yourself,
rough
don't
skin
you?
He's
combination.
dead
Yeah.
and yeah, you have to kill it to not receive that damage. Am I right? No. Do you get the damage from the Rocky Helmet even if you kill it?
Yes.
I thought
Yeah.
it was contact moves, but he would have used one, so
Yeah.
ignore me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't bypass it if it faints. I don't think.
So tense.
It's oh god, it's coming down to the wire.
Yeah, but you think you can't kill the Garchomp with its Rocky Helmet.
Yeah. I mean, it's,
Well, but then there was a sword dance, so that's why
it doesn't
I
matter.
questioned it.
Yeah. Oh.
No, there you go.
But no,
Yeah.
there you go.
Oh, that Rocky Helmet and the rough skin. Yeah, too
Fantastic
strong.
Rocky Helmet play.
Oh,
From I believe, I don't think we've seen that Garchomp do that this season.
I
Obviously, we
don't
all know it
think-
can do it.
I don't think we've seen that set. If we have, it's not been very impactful
Yeah.
until now.
No,
but
Tom tends to use it more of a big beat stick, I think, than a
Yeah.
wall. But that was fantastic to see.
That was
just-
good, wasn't it?
sublime play, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. It was
Really
everything we
exciting
come
match.
to watch Pokemon for.
I was impressed with JP managed to bring it back a bit after that.
Oh
Kecleon.
yeah, he gave
Yeah.
us a proper game.
Yeah.
As Ray said, he was wrong-footed by the Kecleon, but he, dug deep and he found something. And
Did a sort of mini
Well, Mimikyu
pirouette.
could easily have run away with it with
Yeah.
a few more percent
Yeah.
HP.
with
Another
just
grassy
no Rocky
terrain heal or
helmet,
something.
right?
Mm.
Oh, yeah,
An unlucky
yeah.
knockoff or something on Tom's side, and then that's a different match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, very
fantastic.
close.
So last minute heartbreak for JP, and Tom redeemed.
I think we should we give JP a clap out as well?
Oh,
'Cause he's
yeah.
been what a source of entertainment and everything else. Well done. To them.
Are you not
Well done,
entertained?
JP.
I was
That was
entertained
brilliant.
watching
yeah,
him.
Good stuff. Good
But-
matches.
I did, if we're going to start nail colours to masks, I did say, Tom Gizzard was my hot tip. Let it be known.
Was he?
He
I've always
was!
backed Chris Munden. So.
Couple of... Oh, what a coincidence.
yeah. I think actually I tipped PK to win it, didn't I? He got pretty far though.
Oh, PK got
Oh,
PK
yeah.
did brilliantly. He just started backing himself to win, and that meant that he had to lose.
Yeah. You never back yourself to win.
No.
Always.
He's
stay
like a
humble.
kind of figure from Greek myth, isn't he? And that's his tragic flaw. It's his overwhelming
His-
hubris.
His Achilles heel.
I am more powerful than the gods. What's the matter?
I could fly close to the sun with my homemade wings.
Exactly.
No, dear.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So that gives us Tom Goodsir and Chris Munden as our grand finalists. Shall we? Before we sign off, shall we chat very briefly about what we think is going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
do you want to go to the room where we chat?
Let's get to the chat room.
To the chat room.
God, it's the late 90s. Right then, our grand final. Tom Goodsir's Limehouse Luxrays versus Chris Munden's Chippenham Town Charmeleons. What do we think?
Oh, well, I mean, after you see a 5-0, it's hard to be like, I think it's going to be closer. But I actually do.
Yeah.
I actually do think it will be closer. I think it was a couple of lucky paralyses, and I think Tom will have some stuff in the bag for him.
Yeah.
Ray,
Well, is it?
remind us how this works with the double. What's it? There's
Yeah,
a potential
sure.
they have to play each other yet 4 times. Is that right? No, 3 times.
No. So the grand final is a best of 2.
Right.
Chris only needs to win 1 game,
Okay.
and then it's over, and he is champion. Tom needs to win both of those games.
So there could be a situation where Thomas played. No, what?
So there'll either be 1 game, or
Yeah,
there will
which
be
will
2
actually be
games.
The second game.
Oh, the
Then
second
one-
time
one
they've
apiece.
played this season. Yes. Yeah,
no,
so
they can't win one apiece. Because in which case
You're
it'll have to be a second game.
You're confusing yourself by counting the game they've already played as one of the grand final games.
That's what I want to do. I want to count that other game.
Well, if you want to count that, then it's like a best of 3 and Chris has already won one.
Yeah.
That's all I want to know.
There we go. Anyway, how frustrating. We need to know who you think is going to win. That's why we're here.
I've told you all who I think is going to win.
Tom Good says take
Despite
it.
the 5-0 drubbing he received.
So have you seen Ed's stats on this?
No, I haven't. Tell me about Ed's stats.
Ed has left a little comment, so I'm sure he'll tell me if I'm misinterpreting this. But his stats give... He's got single match and then double feature. He's got Tom's 67% likely to win the first game, is that?
Wow, that's a high percentage.
That's a very high percentage. What, based on every single time there's been a repeat showing of anyone?
I think this is based on their scores as a whole throughout the tournament, so it tracks who they've beaten and by how much, and then who the people they've won and lost to have done and by how much.
Ed's magic maths formula says that.
Yeah. So I'm guessing Tom has won more than Chris and beaten players who've also won a lot.
Yeah.
So Tom is 67% likely to take the first game, according to Ed.
Is that because he's beaten JP, who has won a lot of games?
Well, yeah, or just beat anyone from Pearl, and Pearl have all played more games.
If I get Ed here.
I don't know.
We're
but then
certainly butchering his maths, unfortunately.
Yeah, quite possibly. And then in double feature, he's got 55% to Chris. So I guess that means there's 55% chance Chris takes it overall. Yeah, but he...
Overall.
No, don't ever delve into the maths.
I think
not cut out for this.
I think that's what he means. He's giving Chris...
What you've done there, Race, you've tried to take into account the previous game.
I haven't.
You're just very confused. I wouldn't bother.
Yeah, I think you are quite confused, Ray, to be fair. You're not making any sense.
This is absolutely... The whole this bullshit.
Anyway, the point is, there's some stats, and it's... So, wow, how exciting.
So, I guess it is more likely Chris will take it because he only needs to win one game, whereas Tom needs to win both. But given that, the stats are heavily in Tom's favour, according to Ed. Yeah, go on.
And my question is, do we predict on the show now and risk cursing someone, or do we just kind of keep it fast and loose? Do we have an official out of your league prediction? Because there will always be a majority in our decisions.
Yeah, well, I think we already...
Now you're back, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to burden anyone with that.
Let's not risk it.
I wouldn't.
Someone's got to...
Not at this late stage.
One of you's got to pick Chris, otherwise it's very unfair on Tom now.
I'm going to pick Chris.
Thanks, man. Ray, you can be impartial.
I can abstain. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I pegged Tom to win it way back when playoffs first started. He's had a great season, a really creative squad. He keeps finding new ways to deploy it. Chris, just really solid season, and he hasn't lost yet in playoffs. And last time they played, he 5-0'd him.
5-0,
yeah. So
watched him like he wasn't even there.
I don't know. And I mean, both these players have done very well in the past. Neither of them has ever got this far, or I think not even massively close to this. Right? I think maybe Chris has made a semi-final in the top playoff group a couple of times.
Well, didn't Chris get? Oh, I forget what we call it.
He won the Salamence Cup in season 3.
Yeah, but that was the sort of...
That was the sort of consolation prize.
Yes, that's right. It wasn't anything to do really with the rest of the tournament.
Well, he's win his pedigree. He's won something.
He's won something.
He's used to winning.
So my point is basically that we don't really know how either of these players act under pressure. I know you were saying earlier that Sam Allner, obviously, can lose the psychological battle.
Right, we've not seen the psychological effect on these two.
Who knows? And Chris plays his cards particularly close to his chest. Who knows how he's feeling about this? Is he a nervous wreck or is he cool cucumber?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Famously slutty with his cards. You just look at him the wrong way and he'll show you his cards. So.
Yeah. And then you've got the interest. I don't know. Yeah, because if you're Chris, you only need to win one. But does that does that soften your edge? Do you think, it'll be fine, I'll win one of them?
Soften your killer edge.
I don't know.
We've had that conversation before, right? Where the 5-0s, there's a 5-0 and there's a 5-0. If you get 5-0 without ever revealing what your counter strategy was at all,
right?
Then it can be very you still have some secret tech up your sleeve. It just didn't come off. It was
Yeah.
quite for a 5-0 score-wise. It was actually quite a close game. As Sam
Yes.
said, went on for 27 odd turns or whatever. It wasn't we know
drubbing.
that, we've not seen really what Tom has it up his sleeve. We know Tom's basic plan. Maybe Kecleon gets in, maybe someone else gets in. I wouldn't want to try and unpick.
I mean, Kecleon's
what
on the
their
map
plans
now,
is.
right?
Yeah.
But then is it like that's what happened with Sam, right? Sam, didn't you have your Hodgecrow second to last did really well,
Yeah.
and on the back of that it came to the final? Or am I thinking of a different match?
No, I cleaned up in the final. I think.
Honchcrow
is
won.
that where
Honchcrow
it
won the
came
thing.
Yeah, it won
Yeah.
the final. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
well,
where it made
like,
its
you're
Probably
name.
thinking about how great Glalie was this season.
I often do get them confused.
yeah. No, I do as
Raw
well, I do as
attacking
well.
power of both.
Oh,
They play very
so sad.
similarly.
Right then,
Um,
there you go. One
yeah.
of them will win.
One of them will win. We can say that much with absolute certainty. Yep, so we'll be trying to arrange live commentary of that match. We'll be in
Yes.
talks with Tom and Chris and possibly the All Out Pummeling guys to figure that out. And then, yeah, we'll let you know when we know more. And it's going to be a fantastic game. Hopefully.
Can't
Game
wait.
or games.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
We're finally here at the final.
Ray, I'd like to see the grand final now, please.
Let's go.
Oh.
And on that Shell Smash, we'll see you
Time to end.
in the grand final.
Till then.
Good night.
Good night,
See ya.
everyone.
Bye.
Slow, bro.